3,000. That's right, we've flipped more than 3,000 profitable houses and can teach you how to do the same thing. Click the Academy link for your free roadmap to financial freedom.
Hi, my name is Julie Hicks. I had an idea of what real estate investing was, what wholesaling was, but I did my own research, but I knew that I would have to get in with somebody that could really point me down the right track so I wasn't making costly mistakes, as we all know in real estate we can do. So about 3 years ago I started working with Peter and his program, and luckily enough we lived in the same town. So after meeting Peter, after about 6 months of training, I did a few deals on my own.
Hey there, this is Peter Vekselman. So I'm here with Mike and Dave, and they've been here for a couple hours. And the reason I wanted to do this video, and I do a number of these, is that probably was a couple weeks ago you contacted me?
Yeah, 2-3 weeks ago.
2-3 weeks ago you were just Googling, I think you said?
Came up with came across your information, went to your site, saw your videos.
And contacted me.
Contacted you.
Yeah, one of your goals to grow a real estate business. And you know, we kind of talked probably about 3 or 4 times, and then what Mike said is he said, you know, hey Pete, looks pretty good, sounds pretty good. I got to make sure you're for real. And so before we kind of solidified our relationship, Mike wanted to fly in here. He brought his brother Dave, and he just wanted to spend a little time with us and just kind of see what it is we do and if we're actually for real, and meet the people here. So you guys have been here, I think, what, a couple hours now, and
Yeah.
Before you leave, I just wanted to, you know, for you guys to spend a couple minutes with me and just tell me how was the last couple hours are? What'd you all see? Who'd you meet? What do we do?
You know, nothing spectacular, but profound, I guess, is a better way to say it. Interesting because, you know, we were talking to Julie,
Yep.
Who introduced us to the system and what you guys do here. And we saw some boards with some deals up, and she discussed the process, and we were asking some questions to get the feedback, and the answers were what we were looking to hear. And you know, if you want a system, that's what we're looking for. You know, many years in the real estate business, but doesn't make you many years richer. And at the end of the day, you know, goal here is to really systemize something. And I saw the system myself, and along with David, that possibilities are unlimited, really, quite frankly. And I appreciate that because, you know, there's a lot of talk about what you could do and possibilities, and it's for simple as it may appear. You know, the background is really, you know, behind everything is the hard work, but yet at the same time is systemization and simplifying it is probably the best way I can look at it, and that's what I saw.
Yep. I appreciate it. Dave, what'd you see?
Well, for me, I'm a systems guy, so I like processes that are easily put together and function well. And I mean, from the very first 10 minutes we were here, I was thoroughly impressed. I mean, looking at the way your processes are set up, seems to be fairly straightforward and simple. Obviously, it takes work behind the scenes, but I was really, really impressed. Really impressed. Like Mike says, we've been around in the training arena for over 25 years. Worked with some of the best trainers out there in the industry. So for us, you know, we scrutinize things a little differently than probably the average person off the street just because of our backgrounds. But we're very satisfied with everything we've seen so far, and it's just really exciting to be able to come in and go to work with you.
All right.
You know, we're expecting big things.
Well, good. You should. You should. You know, one of the things that they both said over and over again, you know, systems. And, you know, when you guys got here, you know, we talked about how are we going to implement this? What's the order? And, you know, the systems part of this business, especially this is what I think people see here, that's the lifestyle side of this business. You know, but there's 2 things that I want to accomplish with people we work with. One, we got to get results. We got to get profitable. We got to start doing deals. The second thing is we're going to systematize everything. We're going to put procedures. We're going to automate it, and that's where you're not only going to get the financial side, but also the lifestyle side. Hey there, this is Peter Vekselman. So today I want to talk to you about something that, like, out of a blue, somebody called me a couple days ago, and they made a comment to me. They said, Pete, you know, a lot of times when you do your videos from your office, especially with people that work for you, And they said, Pete, it seems like you have a very turn and burn environment. It seems like people come and go constantly. And I kind of had a conversation with this individual about that, and I started thinking about that. I was wondering, I started thinking, I don't know why I come across like that in videos, because that is the furthest from the truth in our office. And so there are operations out there that lend themselves to a very turn and burn environment. A lot of sales operations lend themselves to turn environment. That's just the industry they're in, and that's how they function. I could tell you the industry that we're all in, being real estate investors, I would say the furthest from the truth is that. Meaning you want to retain employees here, and you especially want to retain employees in key positions. In my opinion, one of the key positions that we all as investors have here, and you have if you're utilizing them, are negotiators. In the end, negotiators are the glue that holds our whole business together. They're what operates everything. They're what getting deals to us. They're getting deals to us, and in the end, they're the ones who are really pretty much in charge of the bottom line. So I wanted to make a video today here with Gloria. Gloria, how long you been here with me?
13 months.
13 months. So think about it. That's a negotiator, and what Gloria does is she answers the phone. She's got her terminal here in terms of she's able to get information in real time as she's dealing with sellers in a live environment here, and she's able to make decisions. And you're negotiating deals. Aren't you also getting contracts?
Yes.
Okay, so you're negotiating deals, getting contracts. And then you're actually here in a management position. So what does that include here?
I make sure everybody is making calls and getting contracts, and I make sure they have their calls and they come to me with any questions, and I help them negotiate if they need it.
So she has responsibility. We actually have in a team environment here. We have a couple teams, and Gloria is in charge of one of the teams. And don't you also train new negotiators that start?
Yes.
Right. So when a new negotiator starts with us, they go through a training process. Then she supervises them. We pay them overrides in her deals and all that. But again, the point is this. When you get somebody good in this business, you really, really have to make an effort to do whatever you have to do to retain them. Let me just show you some numbers that I had pulled up before we started. So what Gloria's made is she's made about 25,000 calls, or she's had over about 25,000 conversations since she's been here with sellers. Out of that, she's sent out 160 contracts. She's gotten 63 contracts received. Now, so think about this. One individual is responsible for 63 opportunities for us to do deals, because what a contract is, it's an opportunity for us to do deals. And when you're making anywhere from, let's say, 8 upwards of $20,000+ a deal, you could see the value of a good employee and especially of a good negotiator. So this is not a turn and burn environment with what we have here, and I suggest if you're working with people in your world, do not get into a turn and burn environment with any aspects of real estate. I don't think contractors should be in a turn and burn environment. I don't think real estate agents need to be in turn environment. Closing agents, definitely negotiators, and anybody else in your world that you're working with. So number one, in order to do that, and you've heard me talk about this a lot of times, invest your time into people. As you notice, one of the responsibilities that Gloria has here is we put people through a training environment when they get started with us. Well, guess what? We invested our time, our money, our effort, our energy into Gloria when she got started with us. When you really start counting how much a good negotiator, a good employee, a good part of your team is worth to you, it's if you're constantly in a turn and burn environment, I promise you're missing this opportunities, because I did not break these numbers down, but I bet you these numbers are weighed towards the back. Meaning when she started with us, she was not at 40% in terms of getting her contracts back or anything like that. So employees actually get better and better over time. So invest your time into your people, invest money, invest energy, and do what you have to do to retain them. Create the kind of environments where people want to be a part of. Very, very important. Hey there, this is Peter Vekselman, and today I'm here with Jason Brooks. He and I just got done doing a meeting together, and what I want to talk to you guys about today is a question I get constantly asked in this business, and that is the value of working with other wholesalers. one of the things that people always tell me, I don't want to work with wholesalers, whether it's on the acquisition side or the sales side. For some reason, other wholesalers tend to have a bad connotation in this business. And so it constantly, people calling me are like, well, I want to, let's say in a wholesale model, Pete, I want to only work with the end buyer. I want to work with the money guy. I want to work with the source. I want to work with the guy that closes. And sometimes, when I'm working with people in terms of developing these wholesale models across the country, people literally tell me, well, Pete, I've developed this whole infrastructure of investors in the back end, and they'll tell me I've purposely kept all the wholesalers out. Well, the reason I asked Jason to hang around here after our meeting today is I will tell you, wholesalers are absolutely worth their weight in gold. Now, you got to work with the right ones. There's no question. There's a lot of people that kind of claim to be wholesalers. They just came out of some seminar. They have no idea what they're doing. So you do want to work with the right ones. But when you're working with the right ones, wholesalers are a tremendous opportunity both on the acquisition side and the disposition side to make money and do deals. So, just a little history on yourself. How long have you been doing this business?
A couple of years.
Jason's been doing this business for a couple of years. Approximately, how many deals have you done?
30 this year, I would say.
Okay, so a couple year experience, which is great. That means he stood the test of time. He's done 30 some deals this year. Together, how many deals that since I've known you, how many have we done?
50 or 60.
So we've done, aside from the deals that he's done, we've done a ton of more deals on top of all that, okay? Now, I've actually even asked Jason to come work for me directly. Now, he's laughing here because it hadn't happened. He hadn't made a commitment to come here. He's actually been in these seats. We've gone through the whole process. He's committed, but the point is this. Even though he didn't want to come to me directly and work with us directly, I understood the value of maintaining a good, solid relationship with the Jason. So you were just here with a meeting with a buyer that he brought to us for some properties. In the end, how many are we going to do with these guys?
We have 30 of them headed towards contract right now, but a lot more. A great relationship about to start.
Think about this, 30 properties because of my relationship with a wholesaler that he just brought a buyer right here to the office. They just walked out and I asked Jason to stay here. 30 deals. And again, these guys have a lot of capacity to do a lot more, don't they?
Exactly, yes.
They have a capacity to do a ton more. So my point is very simple. Never ever discount wholesalers in your marketplace. Because remember, number one, what you're doing is you're leveraging yourself through them. See, I didn't know these buyers. I wasn't doing deals with these buyers. He did. So I leveraged my time, our effort in this company through his buyers list, okay? It could also work on the acquisition side. For instance, if a wholesaler starts bringing deals to you, he could bring you deals that you're not potentially looking at or doing. So tremendous, tremendous opportunity working with wholesalers. What I would recommend, whatever market you're in, find the top wholesalers. Find the wholesalers that have stood the test of time, that are actively doing deals, that you can get on their email list and you could see on a daily or weekly basis they're producing more and more deals. That's how you get the legitimacy of wholesalers. But absolutely, wholesalers are worth their weight in gold. This is about a $1.8 million deal we just put together?
Yep.
1.8, 1.9 deal, and many more to come. So take advantage of wholesalers, work with them, develop relationships. Hey, this is Peter Vekselman. So I'm actually sitting here inside Julie's office. Julie runs this whole operation for me. She's actually in our building next door. She's working with Mary for a couple days. And for those of you that listen to my videos, you know that what Mary does, she's a very critical part of our operation. She drives all of our deals forward. Well, we're doing this business in a number of different markets, one in particular in Florida right now. We're absolutely just killing it there. And we've actually found some things that work better in that market that we weren't even implementing here. So there were a couple things that we struggled a little bit here with how we're moving deals forward, that now Julie is sitting with Mary for a couple of days and she's teaching how to implement the things that we're doing in Florida that are working so well back here in Atlanta. So we struggled a little bit through a couple different things, and that's what I want to talk to you about today, this whole concept of struggling. And what made me actually think about it is, I got a credit card here, and I actually pulled this credit card out of my wallet today. But what made me think about it, I was in my home office this morning, I was pulling some paperwork out, and I pull out this old credit card, and the thing had expired like like over 10 years ago, and it wouldn't even activated. And it just made me think. I looked at the year on it, and I remembered when I got started in this business. This is years and years ago. I had an awful start in this business in terms of the financial side of it. Lost a tremendous amount of money. Obviously, never gave up. Always knew it was me doing something wrong. But I remember back then I had a business partner. His name was Jeff, and there came a point in our lives that the only way we could keep this business going was literally, we would fill out on a daily basis credit card applications. I mean, whatever applications we can find anywhere, we'd fill them out. And it's like the favorite part of our day used to be, I'd come home, he'd come home, and I'd see like in how many credit cards were sent to me that day. And I remember I'd open them up, and one had a $10,000 limit, and one had $3,000 limit, and one had 10, whatever it was. And that was how we judged our business. From a perspective, how long can we get going? How this gave us $5,000. Okay, we can keep this deal going to a tune of another $5,000, and this credit card gave us $20,000, and we could put $20,000 worth of construction into that deal, and it was a struggle. We literally for a while built this business off those lines of credit just to keep things going. And look, 15 years later in this business, we still have some things, like I was telling you earlier, that we struggle with as a company. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, struggle never stops. It's the nature of the beast in this business. I know for those of you that aren't quite successful in this business, or maybe some of you that are successful, you got your own set of challenges. You got your own set of struggles you're going through. Maybe you're literally figuring out, how do I keep this thing going for another 3 weeks? Maybe you're trying to figure out, how do I get my, somebody very important in my life off my case because they're constantly beating me up about this business. Maybe for you or somebody else, you're figuring out, how do I figure out how to do something? Because I know once I figure it out, I'm going to be able to break through. We all struggle. If you're not struggling, you're not doing this business. If you are struggling, you're in this business. But make no mistake about it. That's the one common aspect that we all go through in this business. Now, I could sit here and tell you how this business is worth it. Look, you've heard me talk about it. You've seen, I'm giving you a glimpse of some of our lifestyle things that we enjoy here. I'm not going to do that today. I mean, all you got to do is look at my videos and, kind of somehow the things we live. Heck, if you're watching this on YouTube, just type in the word lifestyle videos, and there's thousands of them for you to get excited over. So, but I will tell you this. I got it. I hear you. I know what you're going through. I've been there, done that. I mean, I've literally, years and years ago, bought chunks of time. And when I mean chunks of time, I didn't buy myself a year here or a year there. Sometimes we were buying ourselves another 4 days here, or a week here, or maybe 15 days here, just to keep it going. If you're willing to do whatever it takes, sooner or later it'll catch. It'll catch, just like it caught for us. Sooner or later the deals started moving. Sooner or later the deals started selling. Sooner we started getting the right people in our lives. Sooner or later things just kind of lined up, one credit card at a time. So whatever you got to do, whatever struggle you got, I got you. I hear it, done it, seen it, been there, part of it. Still struggle to this day with different things we do in this business. That's the norm. The other side, 100% worth it. Hey, this is Peter Vekselman. So today I want to talk to you about second chances. And what I mean by second chances is so many investors in this business. And look, I've been there, done that. It's just they get paralyzed from the fact that they're afraid of making a mistake. So let me talk to you about the big picture, the big concept of making mistakes. The big concept is that if you're listening to this video and you live in the United States, you couldn't be in a better country for second chances. I can tell you across the world, there's things that people do here in the United States that if you're doing anywhere else in a world, you're done. For instance, think about it. How many people you know that file bankruptcies? All of us know people that file bankruptcies, especially the things that the real estate market has been. Do you know there's countries out there, if you file bankruptcy, you might as well shut it down. You are never going to recover. Here in the United States, it is so wacky. Creditors actually believe you, sometimes consider you to be a best creditor, from after bankruptcy, because everything gets wiped out. So they're like, okay, this guy owes nobody nothing. Let's give him a bunch of more money. So this is a country of second chances. You take some of the most influential, the most successful areas in the country, like Silicon Valley. You go to Silicon Valley, you talk to, this is where the millionaires, the billionaires, exist. From all over the world, they come there. You go there, you find me one person that's not on their second, third, fourth, 10th time. It is actually almost chic there to have crashed a company or a couple of companies, because then they know you're doing something. The bottom line is this: don't let fear get in the way from you doing things. And look, I know in this business, especially if you're starting out or if you're doing something you haven't done before, everything is new. Everything is got a set of consequences, but not if you do it correctly. Not if you know how to write contracts correctly. Not if you know how to set up deals correctly. Not if you know who to work with correctly. Almost every single thing you're afraid of, if done correctly, could be literally wiped out. Look, in my business, 15 years into this thing, let me give you 4 or 5 failures I've literally had. And these are pretty big failures in the last just 4 to 5 months. Last 4 to 5 months, I went into a number of new markets. Different areas, different geographical areas, and none of those geographical areas I'm still in today. I mean, that could be considered, those were failures. I've spent time in there, we spent resources in there, we spent infrastructure into there, we put people into there, obviously money into there. Guess what? I'm not in any one of those areas anymore, but guess what? As a result of going in those areas, I found 1 or 2 other areas that were absolutely kicking butt in. So do not let fear of the unknown, of doing something different in this business, prevent you from being successful. See, the only way you're really going to fail in this business, and I know you've heard it before, I know it's a cliche, but there's only one way you're going to become a failure in this business, and that is not to take the next set of action steps. Fear, hey, I got it. We all live with it. We've all been there. We've all done it. We all experience it. You got to move it aside. Everyone's got it. You're not just one person that's got fear. But fear could be paralyzing. We've all failed. I've failed plenty of times in this business. I told you about some huge ones in the last several months I've had. Do I look at them as failures? Absolutely not. Because as a result of those 4 to 5 markets, I've now found some really key markets, like I said, that we're kicking butt in. And in one of those markets, I was just talking to somebody in my office. We're closing 2 deals here today alone in one of those markets. I didn't even know about one of them. I kind of knew about one of them. I didn't even know about the other one. So do not let fear paralyze you. Think about that. There's things you're afraid of that are absolutely preventing you from being successful right now.